In estate planning, I hear it literally every day. Oh, my kids would never fight over the estate. And it always makes me giggle a little bit because do they not remember our childhood? As the youngest of three, I can tell you that I have fought with nobody nearly as much as I fought with my brother. And that is what siblings do. We butt heads, but we especially butt heads when grief and greed are involved. And I always say that I'm sorry, we don't know what grief and greed are going to do to somebody, especially when they have a spouse whispering in their ear that's not connected to your family, that doesn't have necessarily a lot of love for your siblings. So it's really important to realize that even though we all hope that our kids would never fight over an inheritance, it happens every single day. So it is very important that we set our families and our kids up for success so that if and when we pass away, there is almost no chance that our kids are going to fight. Now, the biggest, I think, misconception is that if you disinherit one of your children in your will, then they cannot contest or fight it. And this is absolutely incorrect. I don't care if you leave them $10, $1,000, or no dollars, and you explicitly disinherit them, because they are your legal heir, they are your child. They can absolutely still contest this in court. A will is a letter telling the judge what we would like to happen, but ultimately it is completely up to the judge. Also, let's face it, wills are notorious for just going missing. So we want to make sure that we set our other kids up for success if we are trying to disinherit a child, especially because wills, they're not the tool for this. So to avoid family conflict and grief and greed, it's really important to maybe create a revocable living trust, because this is going to avoid the court process altogether. There is no judge, there's no way to contest it without spending bukus of money. And then ultimately we have a provision in there that says if you do contest it, you're cut out. So it's really very hard to contest a revocable living trust, making it a much better tool if we're going to cut one of our kids out or leave things unevenly, or if we just think there's a better chance that our kids might actually butt heads over things. The other thing that I see a lot that I think a lot of people forget about, usually it's the things. It's the things that your kids fight over, the jewelry, mom's ring, the artwork, something that means something to them or they think is valuable. This might be what your kids fight over. So one really important thing to make sure that you remember in your estate plan is to actually list out a personal property memorandum of where you want these specific items to go. Anything that you think may cause conflict, write it down, who it's going to, sign it, and date it. It's so important to have that listed because it is those little things that your kids may end up fighting over instead of just the money. So there's lots of things in estate planning we can do to avoid this conflict, but I don't care how much you think your kids are not going to fight, there is still a really good chance that they may.